Hi guys, this is Levis from the A&O show. I'm over here going to be watching the movie I.S.S. Is from the trailers. It's a space movie between the Russians and Americans, basically that they're living as peace in the actual space station until supposedly back on Earth the world starts going into war and a lot of missiles get dropped and they can't figure out to trust each other and stuff like that. It piqued my intriguement basically, so I was like, you know what, it's something I could go check out. And like I said, could be 50-50, could like it, could hate it, you know, could feel indifferent. I don't know, we'll see pretty much. But it's been a while since I've seen a space movie, so sometimes it's good to switch it up a little bit. So I'll let you guys know what I think right after the movie's over. I'll see you guys. Alright, hey guys. So, what I thought of I.S.S. Is it weird that I have three different feelings on it, pretty much? So, it's weird to say that, like, I'm satisfied to a whole point, like, surprisingly satisfied, and then disappointed in the end, in a way. So, the beginning, let me explain. So the beginning is a bit of setup, getting to know the characters, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, you have to go to this point or else you're not really gonna care much for the movies. You don't know who the main characters is, who you're rooting for or against, or blah 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 and stuff like that, and have a little common sense. The dialogue wasn't bad, but it was in times iffy in a way. But then again, this is a lower budget movie, so take it for what it's worth. But it didn't kick me off the movie or anything like that. Then it got to the meat that I was like, got excited basically right when the explosion happened. And like, you feel like this tension is probably like one of the best tensions I had basically in a movie for a little while, you know it's like, ooh, who do you trust? Who, what's really going on? Like, are they really going to do this? Who's really gonna do this? Who's not? Like, what comes next in a way and stuff like that. So that part, excellent. Like I was expecting that part, yes, like from what I got in the trailer, and that delivered basically. Like the suspense, the thrill, like what's gonna go happen next, like where do they go from here, like what is the best core, like it makes you think like, okay, what would you do? What would that person do? What's best for everybody to get off that situation? Because it's like literally, imagine yourself like you're just in a space station and you're just, there's nowhere to go. Either it's like there's no one that's gonna be sending for help. So at the point like you gotta do what you gotta do, or you just ignore orders, but you don't know if the other people gonna betray you or not. Depends on friendship. Depends on what your loyalty is to friendship, or what your loyalty is to the country or the government or whatever, and the consequences of that. And that part is like intriguing. Like, I'm gonna say it's a good movie all the way to the end, or the last quarter part. That then I'm like, kind of lost me. It was like it reached its peak, but it couldn't close it, you know. So I was like, it just became another cartoonish-ish movie in a way. Like, it still left me with some questions more than answers in a way. And I'm gonna explain the whole movie because I'm not gonna do a part one, part two, non-spoiler and spoiler, because this movie doesn't really need for that. I'm gonna do it all in one. But in the end, it was, it's like I get it in a way, like the very, very last part, but just going on to it, like everything that happened before, it's just like a little bit eye rolling. But let's be honest though, my expectation was low anyway, so I like the movie for what it's worth in a way. It's not high budgeted, like it's not one of those mainstream movies or anything like that. So for what it is, it was good. Like it was good until the last part, but I recommend if you want to go watch it, watch it. Like when it gets to the meat of it, like you feel the tension, you feel what's going on and like who to trust and all this other stuff. It's a good that from that part from the beginning and middle is a good watch. It's just it didn't close it basically. It's like right after that, if you like shut off your mind, like you could just imagine all the scenarios that they could have done with the movie to make the ending much better. But anyways, now let me go towards the spoilers in a way. So basically you are in a shuttle and they are bringing up pretty much the main characters and two characters that been already in the space station. In the space station there's like Russians and whatever. They basically commute and share the space station together. Don't ask why, I don't know. But take it for what it is. And pretty much they're all friends. They learn each other's languages. They've been there a while, except the main character, which is a woman. Yeah, basically a woman, and she goes up there. She's like kind of iffy, but I'm like, okay, let's get along with knowing people. And basically, the beginning is pre-set up. Like. Oh, like it shows you that these people like trust each other. There's not really any bad vibes about anything or whatever. But she was hesitant. She had her doubts at first, like, is this really going on and stuff like that. And that was pretty much the first 15-20 minutes of the movie, like pretty much dialogue, setup, and stuff like that. Then when it starts getting to the meat of it, you come they started looking at the earth, from the, I don't know what you want to call it, window or whatever the case may be, and they see a bunch of bombs and blah blah blah, all this other stuff, and they're trying to get communication. Like, they got family down there, they got kids and stuff like that, and they don't know what's going on, and stuff like that, and then they get a random message that doesn't come back through in the movie all the way until the end, that, oh, you have, like, the United States have to take over the space station by any means necessary. There's a war going on between the Russians and the United States, and then the Russians got the same message from their government that they have to take over. And then it comes question like, will they, won't they type shit, and that part was intriguing, and blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, okay, so now I guess you're on the whole entire adventure ride. Be like, okay, like, first they were like, we should give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, they're not going to do anything to harm us or anything like that. And, the veteran of the group from the Americans, you're like, oh, because the veteran from the Russian says, oh, the antenna's broken because they have no communication, blah, blah, blah. And then the veterans are like, oh, I'll go check it out. So he went to go check it out. Like, they was nervous. It was a pretty tense moment because the Russians was giving the suit to him, you know, and stuff like that. Why did he volunteer? He didn't have to volunteer. Why don't have the Russians volunteer? Blah, blah, blah. But he said he was better suited for it. And, like, I trust. There was a girl in the Russians, the only girl, and, like, he trusts her. So he went for it, and whatever the case may be. And, it was a pretty tense moment because you don't know if the Russians did something, they didn't do something. What if the whole thing of the Americans did some shit as well to sabotage? Or I don't know, like a whole possibilities could be in mind. But they went through it, this, that, whatever, and then one of the Russians cut the line of communication with the Americans in the space shuttle, and you know, they went then, and he found out that there was nothing wrong with the antenna. The antenna was fine. So then, I don't know, it's something with a crane. He got hit. So everybody thought he died. Like, there's no way he could, like, you know, manage to save that or whatever. So it's like, oh, 2-on-3. Then the Russians said that's when the Russians admitted to themselves, to the woman, because she didn't know that, oh, like, there's a war. They're trying to kill us, this, that, whatever. She didn't approve. I'm like, those are her friends, this, that, whatever. They could still save him. Then she went to go talk to the other female because the other guy was, like, pro-United States. I'm like, listen, there's a way to survive. Like, my friends, like, they're trying to attack. You know, you told me the truth. So they ended up trusting each other and all that. So they made up a plan. I'm kind of rushing to it. They made up a plan that they're gonna extract the other two Russians, and you go to the thing, you find some paper, some documents, because supposedly they have a cure for some shit in the war. That part I didn't get, but I just went along with it. That they were researching, they could save a lot of people, so then you have to go down by yourself, and so forth. So she created a distraction. Then the white American guys told her, the other surviving guy, told her, oh, that she lied to you, that there's nothing there, and then they got mad, and then she was about to do a distraction. Then the American guy, came and hit her and killed her. And then they were doubtful, you know, the Russian guy, well, I'm gonna end this, I'm gonna kill them all, blah. It was like a cat and mouse game, a mouse and cat. Then the Russian guy didn't like, he felt guilty, he didn't like what he was doing, and whatever the case may be, like, you know, he wanted the violence to stop. And then this is where it comes ungathered, basically, like it went downhill. Like, that wasn't the peak of it, and how they gonna survive now between 2 and 3 and whatever the case may be. And the guy who got thrown off the antenna, they found him. And then it just became fighting. Who killed the woman that he liked from the Russian? And then they went into a random ass space battle, them floating, and then the blood in the air, which looks and then they both killed each other, and then the girl's dead, and then they figure out that another American stole the thing that was gonna save a lot of people. He was gonna go down to Earth himself. And it just became all too convoluted, too, I don't care, lose interest. And they ended up, the Russian and the woman, American, ended up killing the guy with a combo after a tense moment because he stopped the oxygen and whatever. And they said, oh, well, the Russian can fix the oxygen, so we don't need you. So they killed him. And then they went back to Earth together, knowing the consequences. I don't know. The movie ends from there. Yeah. Like I said, it was good all the way to the point where, actually, it was excellent. Like, if the movie would have kept that pace up to the beginning, middle, and they kept the middle part, and then all the way kept that same pace all the way towards the end, this movie would have been a good 9 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10. But that part after the guy who everybody thought died came back, it just started getting silly and dumb. And it literally brought all this movie rating down for me to like a 7 or a 6.5 out of 10. 7 being max because I really, really, really liked the middle. And the beginning I didn't mind. So the beginning, the middle are one. So I really, really enjoyed that. It's a tale of it's a tale of two movies in a way. Well, tale of a movie and a half, and then the ending. But if you watched it, tell me what you think. You know, if you enjoyed it, not enjoyed it. You know, same reactions as me. It was good until the end, and whatever. I rated a 7 out of 10. Oh no, I can't even do that. I'm gonna put a 6.5 out of 10. Cause I still think you guys should check it out. You know, for yourselves, and let me know in the comments whether you liked it, didn't like it, or anything like that. This video is not supposed to be this damn long, but I guess it was a bunch of saying this. But anyways, until next time, you guys, bye bye.